Hello, and welcome to the Temple of Enlightenment International Spiritual Center. I am the founder. My name is issacharbey, and I'm also the senior director. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to yet another plateau, another dimension that we're going into on this great Sunday. I want to thank all of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. We're meeting here every Sunday, same time, same place. I want to thank all of you for your support, for all of your donations, everything that you guys have been, helping us out with here at the Temple of Enlightenment. And we want to thank all of you for being a part of this. If this is your first time tuning in with us today, please let us know what city, what state. Please let us know what country you are listening from. Also, we want to take the time out to thank all of you for all of your emails that you've been sending in, letting us know about your money magnet mirror boards. I've had some great testimonies. So, of course, I can't divulge the person, but there is a person who listens to who's very connected to this community. And she did a money mirror. She did a money magnet mirror board, which in layman's terms would be considered a vision board, if those of you listening for the first time. And on the board, she put that she wrote a check. She started a company, and she wrote a check for $25,000 for this particular vision board. And she wrote that check because she said that at the bottom of the check on this board, she has for investment purposes. So one of the things that she said she wanted to do was this year, she wanted to invest $25 into something. And she also had a picture she had a whole bunch of stuff on there, but everything looks like it's falling down. I'm telling you, my friends, you want to start working with the money magnet mirror boards. You want to work with your vision boards. They're very powerful. This friend of mine called me this week, and she began to tell me how she was propositioned by a friend of hers who's doing some real estate, and he was only allowing a certain few people to get in on the deal. And basically, he said, listen, I don't want you to tell anybody about this because you're so connected to me. I just want to give you the opportunity if you can or cannot. I only wanted to do this for people who are close to me, and I know that we'll be able to benefit greatly from this. And he said the beginning initial price that we are offering for you to invest in this particular development is $25,000. And so she was blown away because this is what she had on her board that she wanted to do. And I'm just letting you guys know, there's no time like the present. There's no time like, as we said before, a few weeks ago, we asked everybody, write down the 5 things you want to do before the end of this year. And then out of those 5 things, I want you to just circle the top 3 and begin to work on them. It's very interesting how that happens. I listened to one of my mentors last night on a call, Reverend Israel, and he talked about telling people to get 5 things together that they wanted to do. And I just thought that was very interesting. We were kind of on the same lines, and we haven't even talked, and it just lets you know when you're connected in spirit, when you're connected and you're locked in, everything culminates and comes together so gratefully. And so I wanted to thank all of you that are using these techniques, that are working with these things, that are implementing the things that we are putting out there, because this is some really good, powerful stuff that can really change your life. It's definitely life-changing, and I think that it's imperative that we move into a level of action, not just reading and looking, but actually doing and applying these methods, concepts, precepts, these things that we're learning. As we get ready to move in today, I have quite a few things I want to discuss today, and we want to get those things going. If you can, those of you who are listening, please, if you do us a favor and hit the like button. When you guys hit the like button, what it does is it gives us the opportunity to raise the level of algorithms. It also gives us the ability to be more visible and allow people like yourself to have the opportunity to listen and to connect with this kind of information. So by you guys hitting the like button, it does help us out. So we greatly appreciate it. If you guys can go ahead and get in a quiet place. Get in a quiet place. You know, we have a few more weeks under this Mercury retrograde. And I know we've been talking about a lot of things and seeing a lot of things happening. It begins to end on the 27th of August. And, you know, Mercury retrograde is not a bad thing. You know, a lot of people have, because it's so popular now, people are like, you know, really scared of it. But it's just the retrogradation of the planet Mercury. Mercury rules communication. It rules travel. And so what it just means is that when you are involved in communication and travel and writing and anything like that, you just want to go back over your stuff and take a look at it. Communication will say that it may bring conversations, it may bring things from the past back up into your reality at the present. But it's not something that we can be afraid of. It's something that we can use to our benefit. And so I just wanted to put that out there because there are a lot of people who, you know, really are scared or run from it. But actually, it can work in your favor. As we get in a quiet position, I want you to take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale. Once again, take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale. Again, take a deep breath and inhale and exhale. In this sacred moment, I affirm that the divine intelligence that governs all life is the true source of wealth and abundance. I align myself with consciousness of success, knowing that my thoughts, beliefs, and actions are powerful forces in creating my reality. I hold a clear vision of prosperity, thinking only thoughts of abundance and possibility. I am guided by the infinite mind to take consistent, purposeful actions towards my goals, trusting that each step is divinely inspired. Gratitude fills my heart as I recognize the abundance that already surrounds me. I wisely invest my time, energy, and resources, knowing that these investments are guided by divine wisdom and will multiply in my life. I understand that true wealth is found in service to others, and I give freely of my talents and resources, knowing that as I give, I receive even greater measure. Above all, I have unwavering faith that the unseen forces of the universe, and that I trust that the divine is always working on my behalf, bringing forth my highest good and perfect timing. I release any thoughts of limitation or lack, knowing that I am a magnet for wealth, success, and prosperity. I accept the truth with deep gratitude, confidence, and in confidence that it is already done in the mind of the divine. And so it is, and so it is. Today, very briefly, I want to talk about the 7 successful habits of a mystical millionaire. We're going to talk about your blueprint to unlimited wealth. Once again, we're going to be talking about the 7 successful habits of a mystical millionaire, your blueprint to unlimited wealth. Now, you know, the name of this series is the money manifestation mindset. And of course, we have been working with Millionaire. We've been using the Millionaire. We've been talking about the 20 commandments of the Millionaire. We've been talking about the Millionaire's mind, the Millionaire's habits. We've been talking about all these things with a Millionaire. Now, understand that, of course, you know, we're using the word millionaire, but this teaching is not to get you $1 million and that's it. That's not what this is about. As we get into these teachings, it's to redevelop, to recultivate your mind so that you have a mind that constantly produces and constantly continues to manifest and bring into fruition that level of abundance, that level of prosperity, that it's a recurring thing in your life. It's not just I'm going for a one-time hit or I'm just or this is like the lotto, I'm just throwing up against the wall to see what happens. This is a recurring online lifetime legacy of constant levels of consciousness of prosperity and abundance. When I look at the word millionaire, I believe it goes beyond the literal accumulation of wealth to encompass deeper spiritual and energetic concepts. For instance, a millionaire is somebody who embodies the consciousness of abundance. So when we use the term the 7 successful habits of a millionaire, of a mystical millionaire, we're talking about not just a person who actually accumulates the $1 million, because guess what? If you do have the consciousness of a millionaire on the spiritual side, it's because of the laws, the undisputed laws of the universe. It has to therefore transform or what we would call transmit, or the mental alchemy of the transformation of you having it on the spiritual side. It has to show up in your physical reality. In this view, being a millionaire is less about having a specific amount of money. It's not about the tangible riches, the tangible things. And sometimes being a millionaire doesn't have anything to do with money. It could be more about assets as well. I have assets. I own paintings. I own real estate. I own, and the assets, the things that you own, can value over $1 million, which in reality, your net worth would be $1 million. Correct, right? And so with being with understanding that the millionaire is less about the amount of money, but more about holding the mindset that attracts wealth and opportunities. The mind is a magnet, and it pulls to you the very thing you have on your mind. Your mind is a magnet. Listen, I can give you story after stories of the amount of knowledge and wisdom that I've accumulated since we started teaching this course. So in the beginning, we started teaching this course and doors started opening. I started getting invites to, like we talked about earlier, the equity group that's on Clubhouse. And then you get into the equity group and you start learning about this and you start learning about this. And then you get into the Telegram, and then you go from this, and then you go from this group, and then you get on YouTube. And then doors just start opening. Information just starts coming to you. Why? Because my mind is a magnet. If I'm always thinking about investments, if I'm always thinking about money, my mind is going to magnetize to me the very thing that I have on it. The mindset is characterized by gratitude, generosity, and an inner knowing that the universe is limited in its possibilities to provide. It's limitless. I use the word mystical because to come into the level of a mystical, I wanted to put that there because I wanted to understand the significance of the inner millionaire, the inner millionaire in your mind and your body and your soul, the millionaire that you've been drawing on the canvas of your imagination. The mystical millionaire is seen as somebody who vibrates at a frequency that is aligned with wealth. They are in harmony with the flow of universal energy, allowing them to attract not just money, but all forms of abundance, including love, health, and happiness. Listen, if you're going to be at a level of consciousness where you are bringing in all good and you're bringing in a millionaire, the Bible says, above all, I wish that you prosper and be, he said, above all, I wish that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. So it ain't just about prospering. I wish that you be in good health too, because health is wealth, right? And so we talked about last week the Wheel of Fortune, and we talked about turning the wheel, and how when you turn your Wheel of Fortune, you are the wheel. The wheel represents every aspect of your life. You're going to turn the wheel and begin to realize that you are the wheel. You are your own Wheel of Fortune. We talked about this last week. In some aspect of it, I look at this millionaire as an individual who has mastered the art of manifestation. I want you to understand that anybody who's come to the level of becoming a millionaire and all of this is internal, this is intangibly, has mastered the art of manifestation. They understand the principles of law of attraction, using their thoughts, emotions, and actions to manifest wealth in their physical reality. This concept emphasizes the power of intentionally of the intentionality, and also the alignment of one's inner state with external success. What is my internal state of being? What is my internal state of consciousness? What is my eternal state of feeling? Do I feel like a millionaire? Do I feel great? Do I feel good? A lot of times we haven't really gone within to make the changes. And if you fail to go within, you must learn to go without. This concept, when I look at the word millionaire, this concept ties into the belief that everything is energy, including money. Money is energy. A millionaire in this context is somebody who has harnessed their spiritual energy to create a reality where financial abundance naturally flows to them. They are often seen as co-creators with the universe, channeling divine energy into their material world. See, I channel it from I channel it as a co-creator within the universe. I'm challenging my divine energy, and then I'm therefore transforming it into my physical reality. Why? As it is in heaven, which is your mind, your consciousness, right? So shall it be on earth, which is your physical reality. Beyond material wealth, a millionaire is also represented by the attainment of spiritual wealth. This includes wisdom, inner peace, and enlightenment. So those of you that are listening to these kind of teachings, this is enlightenment, this is wisdom. These are the things that if you can take a hold of and put in your consciousness, these I think we were on 20 or 21 weeks. Everything that you're learning, you need to be writing down. You need to be putting into perspective, because these are the things that once you have in your consciousness can never be taken away from you. And guess what? It makes you so powerful, because it brings you into a place where you understand that everything I do is in consciousness. I can never lose because I'm doing it in the intangible realm. Nobody can take it. Nobody can steal it. Nobody can try to, do anything to stop me, because I understand and know that the only person that can stop me from being, doing, and having whatever it is I want in this lifetime is me. The millionaire is rich in spirit, possessing a deep connection with their higher self and the universe. And in mystical traditions, it can be understood that someone who has achieved a higher level of spiritual evolution, their wealth is measured not by material possessions, but by their spiritual insight, the ability to transcend material concerns, and their connection to the divine and universal truths. And so a millionaire might be defined by the legacy they create, the positive impact that they have on others and in the world. This perspective emphasizes the flow of energy through giving, sharing, and uplifting others, thereby creating a cycle of wealth and abundance that extends beyond the individual. A millionaire is somebody who feels fulfilled within. Regardless of the external circumstances, their sense of wealth comes from an inner source of completeness and containment. So these are the things that we look at when we define the word millionaire. So when I say millionaire, everybody thinks about, oh, this person has $1 million. And so my goal is not to make $1 million and call myself a millionaire. My goal is to constantly have money flowing in, millions and millions of dollars. You get the first $1 million and you get ready for the second and the third and the fourth, and you continue at this level of consciousness. You have the consciousness level already in it. You're transforming this millionaire that's inside of you into experiencing it in your physical reality. I wanted to look at this. Of course, the number 7 is the number of rest. It is a number of, when I say rest, it's a number of pulling back, to redefine, to redevelop. It's a sign, usually, when you see the number 7, if you look in the Bible, on the 7th day, God rested, right? But the 7 is a time for you to pull back and redevelop, to redefine yourself. It's a good time to study, to rejuvenate. It's a good time to redevelop and restore. And so when we look at this, I wanted to create something that I found was very unique. These 7 successful habits of mystical millionaire will allow you to take hold, to embrace the blueprint of unlimited wealth. The first law that I want to look at is based on the fact that these truths are not just ideas to be pondered, right? But these spiritual laws are to be applied. You know, I say this all the time, that knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Just because you know something doesn't mean you have the power. But until you apply it to your life, therefore, then now you give it the power. But knowledge is not power. It's applied knowledge. It's applied knowledge. They are the essence of mystical mastery, the keys to unlocking a life of unparalleled abundance, joy, and fulfillment. The first law is the law of divine compensation. The universe is always balancing the scales. We talk about this. I'll say this again. The first successful habit of a mystical millionaire is the law of divine compensation. The universe is always balancing the scales. This profound truth says that the universe is perfectly balanced. It's a perfectly balanced system. And every act of love, every step of faith, every moment of gratitude is recorded and returned to you in kind. When you give, when you serve, when you live in alignment with the divine principles, the universe compensates you in ways that transcends material wealth. As a millionaire, as a mystical millionaire, we understand that every thought, word, and action is an investment in our divine economy. Let me read that to you again. I want you to hear this. Every thought, every word, and every action that you think, that you do, is an investment in the divine economy. And listen to me. When you hear the word investment, I always hear the word return. Because for every seed that you sow, you'll reap the benefits of it. A seed is an investment. When we talk about your thoughts, your words, and your actions being an investment, we are now very careful because we realize that these things that we're utilizing are investments and we will get a return on our investment. What you put out in the universe, you will receive back multiplied. This is not just karma. This is what we call, my friend, divine compensation. Are you living? I want to ask you a question. Are you living in a way or in a lifestyle that warrants divine compensation? What are you investing in the universe, and how is it being returned to you? What are you investing? What are you reading? What are you watching? Since we've been involved in this series, I find it very difficult for me to watch shows. There's so many shows everybody's telling me about. They're telling me about all the House of Dragons, the presumed innocence, the Netflix, the HBO Maxes, all these shows are coming out. But I'm so involved in all of these other things that I'm studying, all this information and knowledge that's coming to me, that I find it very difficult to watch those things. But I'm making an investment by studying, by reading, by having conversations like this with people, right? And so I understand that everything I do is an investment. The books that I read, those of you that are doing the money magnet mirror board, right? That's an investment. Every time you put something on that board is a mirror. But the fact that you are able to put those things in there, that's an investment of your time, your energy, your intention. It's an investment. And as you look at it as an investment, you will get a return on your investment. ROI, return on investment. You will get a return. The second successful habit is the principle of non-attachment. I think this is very interesting. Freedom from the illusion of ownership. Now, there's two folds to this, but we're going to go this way. This principle of non-attachment, we understand that we do not truly own anything, not even our money, not even our possessions, nor our bodies. Everything we have is a gift from the divine, entrusted to us for a time. Exactly. The hourglass. Everybody on this earth is here for a specific time, right? For a time, for a season. And so when we leave, we take nothing with us. Into this world we came naked, and out of this world we leave the same way we came. So we really don't own anything. This principle talks about non-attachment, not to get attached to the physical ramifications of things, because sometimes we can get so attached to this is mine, and this is what I did, and this is who I am, and I gave them that, and I did this, and this belongs to me. And we have a level of attachment where in reality we should be moving with a non-attachment. Non-attachment doesn't mean renouncing wealth. Yeah, it doesn't mean when I say non-attachment that, oh, I don't want any money, I don't want to be attached to money. But what it means is understanding that wealth is a tool, not your master. It means that being able to let go of the material without losing your peace. There's a post that I had posted a couple of weeks ago. It says, if it costs me my peace, it's too expensive. And that's what I posted. I said, if this causes me my peace, then yeah, this is too expensive. It's too much for me. I can't afford it because it's costing me my peace, and my peace is everything. Peace is everything. So if it's going to cost me my peace, yeah, it's too expensive. This is something that I will not be connected to, because this is definitely too expensive for me. So if it costs me my peace, I can't deal with that. Knowing that your true riches are spiritual and eternal. And so yes, you wanna be able to understand that and have that non-attachment, where you're not attached to the things, because you understand that those things, anything that we have in the physical reality is temporary. And the things that we have in the spiritual realm are what we call intangible, which will be eternal. It can never leave us. It can never be taken from us because it's internal. Nobody can see, touch, or feel it. It's been stored in our levels of consciousness. How attached are you to your material possessions? How attached are you? If you lost everything today, or if you lost something that means so much to you, this material asset that I had, could you let it go if it called to, and still find peace and joy within yourself? Because this thing that you were attached to physically, you couldn't let it go. Whether it's jewelry, whether it's a watch, whether it's a car, whatever this possession was, that you so attached to this thing that if you lost it, it was, oh my God, if I lost it, I would kill it. Have you ever lost something and you was like, oh my God, I'm about to die because I can't believe that I lost this? And then you end up finding it and you're like, oh my God, I thought, my life was over. Some of us may feel like that about our phones, because I see people on their phones all the time, and if they lost their phone, they feel like, oh my God, my life is over because I lost my phone. The non-attachment of not being attached to those things, not being attached to having that physical attachment, but finding balance. That's what we talked about in the beginning, finding the balance. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And so when we leave this earthen vessel that we are in, this body, we don't die. We continue to transcend as a spiritual being. And so while we are in this incarnation, we have to find balance. The third successful habit is the power of the present moment. The power of the present moment. It's about living in the eternal now, understanding that the past is gone and the future is yet to be created. The only moment that truly exists is the one right here, right now. The only thing that matters is the present. I'm not afraid of the future because the best way to predict the future is to create it. So yeah, I'm not afraid of the future because I can create the future. What I believe is that there's no greater time than the present. The Bible says now faith is the substance of things hoped for. Not 2 minutes ago, not last week, not 2 weeks from now, not next year. Now faith. There's nothing like the present. By anchoring yourselves in the present moment, you tap into the infinite possibilities of now. Let me say that to you again. By anchoring yourselves in the present moment, this present moment right now that we're listening to this teaching, that we're writing down and we're taking this knowledge and wisdom and this understanding in, now this present moment, is what will allow us to tap into the infinite possibilities of the now. Somebody's listening to this and says, you know what? I want to change my life. I need to change my life. I need to make a change. I've been going through the same thing over and over again. It seems like I've been, trying to make changes and things just won't happen and my life is falling apart. My life is in pieces. I want you to know that if you can anchor yourself in the present moment right now, that you can tap into the infinite possibilities of the now. You can release the regret. You can release the anxiety and embrace the power to create your reality this very instance. You can change whatever it is that you need to change this very moment, right here, right now, in the present. Not tomorrow, not when we get off not when this call and this teaching is over with, but right now at this moment, you have the power to release and let go and also to create. Listen to me. I did a reading yesterday, a consultation. The woman comes to me and says, I want to move to Africa, and I want to know, is this a good place for me to go? I do something called relocation astrology, and what that means is that I look at your chart in various places of the world, and it shows me if these are good places or not for you to move. This particular woman, I began to tell her what I was looking at. I looked at South America, I looked at Asia, I looked at Africa, I looked at Europe, I looked everywhere all over the world. I looked at Russia, everywhere. And we looked everywhere. And I began to pick out some of the places that just jumped out to me that were great for her to move to. I told her about the northeast part of Brazil. I told her about the northeast part of Africa, which was about Ethiopia and Kenya. And I said to her that when you were born, we take a snapshot of the place you were born, the time you were born, and the date you were born. And based on that snapshot, we are able to tell you your past, present, and future, right? In that snapshot of where the planets were aligned at your time of birth, it also lets us know who you are. I told her this: no matter where you go in this world, you will always be who you are. But the way that your life plays out will change. So I told her it's not about should you go to Africa or not, because if you go to Africa, you're going to still be the same person. You're going to be the same person you were born with, the same gifts, the same talents, the same skill set, the same ability to do what you need to do. You're still going to be that person. The question is, will Africa be able to give me the resources or give me the amenities that I need to continue to work in my purpose and destiny? So I said like this. This is based on this particular law of the present and the now. I said, let's use this analogy for a minute. I take you into a building and I tell you that, you're a person that is very claustrophobic. So you need to have light. You need to see outside. You need to see the light from the sun. You need to be able to look outside the windows. But I put you in a house with no windows. And so I put you in a house with no windows, but you are a great person. You got a great skill set. You know how to do things. You have a purpose and you have a destiny. But I put you in this house with no windows. But still yet, you need that because of your condition of being claustrophobic. You need to be able to see. You need all of this. So what I told her is if I send you to Africa and put you in a house with no windows, but you need the windows, what do? You break walls in the house and you build your own windows. You create what it is that you need. And that's what I'm telling you in this present moment. If there's something that you don't have, you create it. You don't wait for somebody to give you a handout. You don't beg anybody for it. You don't say, well, the government didn't give it to me, they denied me, or they told me this, or they won't give me this. You create it in this present moment, here and now. And basically, I told her, I said, listen, no matter where you go in the world, there you will be. Your life will play out differently. It's not whether or not I will be successful in Africa. The question is, how is Africa going to receive me? Because Africa has its own culture, its own climate, its own things going on there. So you would need to be very, I would say, informed about that part of Africa that you're going into so that you know what the culture is. How do they live? What's their economy? All of those things. So when I go there now, I know who I am and my purpose, and I know how to navigate and begin to create the life that I want to live. And so that's the same thing in life, my friend. Those of you that are listening, no matter where you are in life, you at any given moment, you can create what it is that you need. If you're put in that house with no windows, you break the holes in the wall and create your own windows. You create it. There's nobody that can stop you. Are you living in the present moment? Or are you trapped in the past or the future? What would change in your life if you fully embrace the power of now? Exactly. A lot of us are living in the past. We talk about what happened when we was in the past. We hold on to things in the past. A lot of our relationships and friendships we still stay connected to because we knew these people from our past. And so we are afraid of the future because we don't know what the future holds. So we are, and this is another thing the lady told me too. She says, I'm afraid to go because I don't have any friends or family. And I said, well, sometimes you can't hold on to the past. You have to be able to move and understand that where you go, you will make new friends and you will make family and you will begin to make the necessary adjustments to do what you need to do. Listen, my friend, life is about what you create. You can't be afraid to create life. You got to go out there and create it. It doesn't matter where you are in life. It doesn't matter where you're going. create the life you want to live. You have the ability to do that. The only person that can stop you from creating the life you want to live is you. Number 4. Number 4 is the law of correspondence. As above, so below. As above, so below. This ancient wisdom teaches us that the external world is a reflection of our inner state. The mystical millionaire understands that to change the world around him, he must first change the world within him. Yes, in order to change my life, it must start from within. It must start from within. And this is one of the conversations I had with the young lady. I had the conversation with her about the relocation aspect of it must start from within. You understanding your desire to go there, and to understand that if you change the world within you, your outer world begins to change. Anybody listening to me on this call today, and your life is going through hell. You done been to hell and back. You done went 10 steps forward. You done got knocked 20 steps back. It seems like every time you go forward, you get knocked back. Nothing ever seems to go right. Everything seems to go wrong. Everybody you seem to be around seems to do something to you, try to hinder you, step in your way. It's just, you can't win, right? You have the ability to change that today. You have the ability to change that today. When you cultivate peace, love, and abundance into your inner world, it must manifest in your outer world. The universe cannot help but reflect back to you what you hold on to in your heart and mind. Oh my God, that's so powerful. That's so powerful. The universe cannot help but reflect back to you what you hold in your heart and in your mind. Guard your heart, for in it are the issues of life. Guard your heart. Why? Because your heart and your mind are what are the most sacred things that you have. And so if you have distress, if you have if you've been tormented, if you've been stressed, and you have all of these different things going on in your mind, in your heart, and you're saying to yourself, my life is falling apart, that's why whenever you get ready to change your situation and your circumstance, you always go within. And the reason why people are basically drowning is because they are moving outwardly instead of inwardly. They're doing it the wrong way, and they think that by letting go of people, letting go of relationships, getting a new job, moving to a new apartment, they think all of these things that they're making outwardly are going to change things, but no, it actually gets worse because you never changed anything. You've only just kept moving it around. The issue lies within. There was no change made. What is your outer world telling you about your inner state? What changes do you need to make within to see the results you desire in your life? I'll say that again. What is your outer world telling you about your inner state? What changes do you need to make within you to see the results you desire in your life? Because what's going on in your outer world would definitely dictate to you what's going on inwardly. What's going on in the outer world would definitely dictate to you what's going on the inside. Somebody says, well, how do you change? That's why we're talking about the 7 habits. Everything that I'm discussing today is about a habit. You know what a habit is? Something that you constantly do and do and do all the time. They say it takes about 30 days to develop a habit. And so if we develop these habits, guess what? These are things that we just do automatically. Our body, our memory muscle begins to lock in, and we begin to just do these things. Why? Because these are the habits that we want to embrace. This is the blueprint right here, what we're discussing today. You being able to embrace these habits and make these habits yours will definitely change your life. It's impossible for your life not to change by you being able to embrace this moment. The fifth habit is the truth of oneness. We are all connected. Know that separation is an illusion. In reality, we are all one. Every being, every creature, every atom in the universe is interconnected in a web of divine energy. I say this to everybody all the time. Listen to me good. You meet no one in this world but you. Listen to me. This is deep. Everybody listening to me right now is a reflection of me. Everybody that's on this broadcast listening on YouTube is a reflection of me. I meet nobody but myself. In your world, you meet nobody but you, which means that everybody that you meet in your world is a reflection of something inside of you, which means now, check this out. If there's somebody in your life, in your world, in your house, in your job that that brings you chaos, that brings you all kind of just turmoil, and you was like, oh my God, this person, I just need to get them away from me. Just please get away from me. If you have that about a person and this person just keeps getting on your nerves, just keeps getting in your way, the more you try to get away from them, the more they come into your life. That you remember, you meet no one but you. So there's something in you that's allowing this person to keep showing up in your world, which means that you need to go within and find out how to remove it. You meet nobody but yourself. And this goes for relationships. Yes. Why does Tiffany keep meeting the same kind of man? She done moved from Detroit to Cincinnati. She meet the same kind of guy. She moved from Cincinnati. Now she moves to Las Vegas. She met the same kind of guy. You meet nobody but you. And so now Tiffany's upset because she's like, I keep meeting the same kind of guy. You know, it starts off good and then it goes this way. You got to make the change. You meet no one but you. So if you keep attracting the same kind of person in your life, then there has to be a change. The same thing. Your friends are a resume of what you're going to become. So if you only hang out with people who are always in the drama, always fighting, always talking about everybody else, always, have nothing good to say, always complaining, always being negative, and you're in that circle, that's the vibration that you're holding on to. And then you're frustrated now because you're listening to these calls every Sunday, you're listening to all this stuff, you went and made a vision board, your money magnet, you made your money magnet mirror board, and you're doing all these things, but still yet you're hanging around all the negativity. You meet nobody in this world but you, which means you got to change yourself. And guess what? You don't have to change anybody else, because once you change yourself, those other friends of negativity and always talking about everybody and always bringing turmoil will disappear. Because they will realize that your consciousness level shifted. And they will start saying stuff like, oh, she thinks she's better than everybody else. Oh, who does she think she is? She just started acting funny. We used to always be cool with her, and then all of a sudden she started acting funny. You didn't do nothing. That only thing you did was change inwardly. And because you changed inwardly, guess what? Your outer world began to change. And because your outer world began to change, those who are not on your level of consciousness, they will begin to see the change. You may not even see the change, but they will begin to see the change, and they will govern themselves accordingly. And so when we understand that this understanding changes everything for me, because it means that when you harm another, you harm yourself. It also means that when you uplift another, you uplift yourself. It also means that when you that in your that if your success is my success, then my joy is your joy. You meet nobody in this world but you. We are all operating in a spirit and a level of oneness. There is no separation. Everything is interconnected. There's actually a movie. It's with Tom Hanks and Halle Berry. I can't think of the name of the movie, but everybody needs to watch this movie because it really shows you a level of oneness, how everybody's interconnected, how everybody's connected in some kind of a way. But in this retrospect, this teaching that I'm teaching you today, this stuff that I'm teaching you, if we could make these our habits and we can really embrace these things, you're going to be blown away at how your life begins to transcend. I was telling somebody the other day, I'm already working on my my money magnet mirror board for 2025. Even though I'm working on my couple of things that I want to see manifest before the end of the year, I'm already on 2025. You know, just getting some things and ideas together of things that I want to do. How often do you see yourself in others? What would you change in your life if you truly embrace the truth of oneness in your daily interactions? Let me say that again. How often do you see yourself in others? How often? On the job, in the family, just talking to somebody. How often do you see yourself in others? What would you change in your life if you truly embraced the truth of oneness in your daily interactions? If you really understood about oneness and you really understood how we're all interconnected, you would really move and operate in a whole different way. I want to get to number 6. Number 6 is the law of infinite possibilities. The only limits are those you accept. I said this all the time. The only limitation you will ever experience in life is the limitation in your mind. There are no limitations. There are no limitations to money. There's no limitations. Listen, what's amazing to me is when we start talking about money, this world is full of money, right? And people are telling us, well, oh, we in such and such a debt, and we ain't got no money, and they don't have money for this budget, and they don't have the money for these budgets. But meanwhile, we hearing all these billionaires, all these guys becoming rich and famous and becoming billionaires and all the stuff that they're doing. But guess what? The money never left the earth. And so what that means is that everybody has an equal opportunity to get to be able to manifest whatever they want to manifest. The money never leaves the earth. As a matter of fact, every day they keep printing more. The law of infinite possibilities. Listen, there are no boundaries. There are no limitations except those that we impose upon ourselves. I did a message this maybe about a month ago, and it was entitled, I give myself permission to be a millionaire. And the reason why we did that was because of this same reason right here. See, all this interlocks. If you have the habit of not giving yourself boundaries, somebody could say, you know what, I really would love to take a vacation next year, but what? I don't have the money. I may not be able to take the time. I have to do this. So we're giving ourselves limits. We're giving ourselves boundaries, right? We're giving ourselves excuses, right? There are no boundaries. There are no limitations except those that we impose upon ourselves. The mystical millionaire understands that they live in the field of infinite possibilities, where anything and everything is possible. Anything and everything is possible. Listen, the universe will always give man what he first gives himself. So if you get the boundary and the limitation, life is going to give you what you give yourself. You gave yourself the excuse, you gave yourself the limitation, you gave yourself the boundaries, and that's what happened. Now, if you take the limits off, if you take the boundaries off, and you take the excuses away, then life will begin to take that away from you, and there is no reason why you can't be, do, and have all that your heart desires. When you align with this truth, you stop asking, is this possible? And you start asking, how can I make it happen? You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You realize that the only true limitation is in your own belief. It's in your own belief. That's the only limitation that you have. The only limitation that you have. What limitations have you accepted as real? Those of you that are listening, you can write this in the chat. You can answer these questions in the chat, or you can write them down. You can listen to this over and over again when we're done today. What limitations have you accepted as real? How would your life change if you believe that anything is possible? Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means if you had it in your mind that any and everything is possible, that there was nothing that could stop you, there was no limitations, that you can do, be, and have whatever it is that you wanted? If you really got the concept of that, you would be blown away, because you would be like, oh my God, I have so much to do because there's so much that I want to experience in life. And let me stop and say this real quick. When we start talking about, do we believe anything is possible? Do we believe that we can have, be, and do all that our hearts desires? Some of us are still blind. Some of us are still stuck because we don't have the self-awareness. We don't know what our gifts and talents are. And that's why I tell all of you, you need to get a session with me. You need to find somebody that can look into the heavens and begin to declare, what's my purpose? You know, the woman that I was counseling about the relocation, I began to ask her about her children, because I said, listen, you have children. Your children need to know what their purpose and destiny is. And she kind of felt like, well, maybe they're too young. They're never too young, because I've had people that come to me with babies. Babies are right born. They want to know, hey, what is this baby's destiny? What is their purpose? Because whatever they're going to be dealing with, I want to kind of mold them into that direction, right? So I tell you all the time, as a matter of fact, I think I talked about this last week, but I'm writing an article for a magazine, and the article that I'm writing for, it's going to be talking about how astrology shows you the hand that you were dealt in life. It shows you the hand that you were dealt to play the game of life, right? But not only does it show you the hand you were dealt, it shows you how to play that hand to win. It shows you how to play the hand to win. And I'm using the comedian Kevin Hart as an example. I'm going through his life. I'm going through the loss of his mother, him moving from Philadelphia, moving to Los Angeles, and how his career took off, how he became one of the most successful comedians, one of the most richest comedians, one of the biggest movie stars. Why? We're going to look at the hand he was dealt, and then we're going to look at how he played that hand and how he's winning right now. Yes, he's had some ups and downs, but he's winning. And so guess what? You can win too. Yes, you can win. Everybody has the ability to win. It doesn't matter how good or bad your hand was that you were dealt. It only matters how well you play the hand you were dealt. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm planning on playing my hand to the greatest of my ability. Number 7. The number seventh successful habit of a mystical millionaire. This is part of our blueprint of unlimited wealth, is the principle of divine timing. Trust the process. The mystical millionaire trusts in the divine order of the universe. They understand that everything happens at the right time, in the right way, and for the highest good of all. This trust allows them to move through life with peace and patience, knowing that the universe is orchestrating everything perfectly. They don't rush, they don't force, they flow with the rhythm of life. They're very confident in what is meant for them, that it will not pass them by. Yeah, if you understand divine timing, and let me tell you something about me. This is preaching to myself because I'm a very impatient person. I hate to wait. I hate waiting on lines. And so patience is a virtue that I desire. And so when you understand the importance of timing, I've always said this to you guys. I always want to be in the right place at the right time to connect with the right people, to get the right things that I need to get the right doors open, to meet the right people, to make the right connections, right? And so divine timing is everything. Sometimes when you think, you're getting pushed back, sometimes when you think things look like you're getting stuck or things are not working out in your way, and then you look back and say, wait a minute, you know what? When I thought that I got pushed back, it actually allowed me to connect with this person. And then I actually hooked up with this person. And then it turned out to be that I was connected to the people I needed to be connected to. But with me being impatient, I could have missed all of that. And so this is a habit that we want to connect with, is divine timing. Listen, that woman that wrote the $25,000 checks on her vision board, she didn't know what the timing was. She didn't know when she was going to really be able to write that check. But she put it on her vision board, and she knew that it was going to come into fruition. It was going to manifest. She believed in divine timing. And when the opportunity came, she was able to write the check. I've been hearing a lot of testimonies about these vision boards, these money magnet mirror boards. And I'm telling you, they're powerful. They work. If this is your first time listening, I advise you to go back to the teaching, which was a few weeks ago, and just, work with it and listen to it, because these things are changing people's lives. The same lady that I'm telling you about is already getting ready to hold a vision board party on New Year's Eve, because everybody's blown away at the accuracy and the manifestation that she was able to do. And so I'm telling that to let you know that these tools that we're talking about, these teachings, these precepts, these things that we're talking about every week, they work if you work it. These are not games. These things work if you work it. Remember, you knowing about the vision board doesn't mean anything. Knowledge doesn't mean anything. Knowledge is not power. But if you take the time to create your own vision board and apply the knowledge to it, guess what? Now it becomes powerful because you applied it to your life. Are you trusting in the divine timing of your life, or are you impatiently trying to control the outcome? That's deep. That's me right there. Are you trusting in the divine timing in your life, or are you impatiently trying to control the outcome? What peace could you find by surrendering to the flow of divine timing? Surrender to the divine flow of timing. You know what? I'm going to surrender to divine time. It's not my time. I don't want to rush it. It will happen in divine time. And I understand that. I'm going to focus on manifesting. I'm going to focus on putting this into perspective. I'm going to focus on everything I need to focus on, but I'm not going to I'm not going to stress myself out over the outcome of this thing, how it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. I'm going to let divine timing put it into perspective. These 7 profound truths are not just concepts to be admired from a distance. They are the very foundation of the mystical path to unlimited wealth. They are the keys to a life of abundance that is rich, not just in material wealth, but in spiritual depth, joy, and fulfillment. You are the mystical millionaire, one who understands the deeper laws of the universe and who uses this wisdom to create a life of limitless possibilities. Embrace these truths, live by them, and watch as the universe opens the storehouse of blessings just for you. My friend, I want to thank you for tuning in to this broadcast. If this teaching has been a benefit to you, please, if you can, if you will, hit the like button for us and help us raise the algorithms. We are forever grateful for all the likes that we get. I want to thank all of you for tuning in, and I also want to tell you that we want to make these 7 habits, we want to make them our own. We want to continue to work with these 7 habits, because these 7 habits, once they become regular habits in our lives, it changes the dynamic of everything in our lives. It changes the way we look at life. It changes the way we operate in life. It changes the way we talk. It changes the way we walk. It changes the way we think. It changes every aspect of our lives. And so I want you to understand how profound, how powerful this is, to not only listen to this message, but to apply it to your life, to apply it to everything that you're doing. Remember, we meet nobody but you. Everybody on this call is a reflection of me. You are a reflection of everybody that's on this call. We're all a reflection of each other. You know, somebody may be listening to this for the first time, or you may be here for a couple of weeks, and some of I've gotten emails where people have said, you know what, I just found you on YouTube one day, and I started listening to you, and somebody said, this is exactly what I needed. Why? Because you meet nobody but you. The person that needed to hear what I'm saying, the connection is going to be made. They always say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And so I've always believed that I'm not forcing this on anybody. I'm not making anybody listen to this, but I'm doing my job as a vessel that I've been giving this opportunity. I've been given the knowledge. And so I'm putting this out there because I believe that the people who are assigned to me, that listen to me, and that connect with me, remember, who are extension of me, because I meet nobody but myself, will begin to understand and begin to embrace these teachings. And so I want to thank all of you for tuning in. What we want to do now is, those of you that would like to donate, we believe in circulation. We believe that once you release your donation out of your hand, that it will circle back to its original point of origin. What are you saying, Issachar? What I'm saying is that we believe, just like the universal law, whatever I release, whatever I put out, it comes back to me. We believe that it will come back to you 100-fold return, and that not only will you be blessed, but everything that your hands touch, everything that you begin to do will begin to touch. We believe that new ideas will come into your mind, that you will begin to elevate your level of consciousness. We believe that you will expand your mind, that it can never go back to its original form. And so we're asking everybody, like we do every week, to sow a seed of $26. 26, the number 2 and 6 gives us the number 8. The number 8 is the number of manifestation. The number 8 is the number, if you look at the number 8, there's 2 zeros that sit on top of each other. The first 0 is heaven. The bottom 0 is earth. As it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth. And so we look at that and we understand the power of the 8. And we use the 2 because the 2 represents the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And then the 6 represents the responsibility. It represents the ability to communalize and galvanize our subconscious thoughts along with our conscious thoughts and begin to bring it into fruition of a manifestation. And so we ask every week, everybody who wants to do $26, if you don't have the 26 and you say, hey, Issachar, I want to do 5, I want to do 10. Some people may say, hey, Issachar, I want to do 50. I'm going to do 25 for my wife and 26 for me. I'm going to do whatever it is that your heart desires. There's 4 ways that you can give. Our first way is going to be Cash App, and also our giving is also in the description below, so you can look in below and see also. We do Cash App, which is going to be $TOESC. Once again, that's Cash App, $TOESC. And then we have PayPal and VENMO. No, we have PayPal and ZELLE, which are going to be from our email, which are going to be info, INFO, at TOESC.org. Once again, that's our email, and it's info, INFO, at TOESC.org. That's for PayPal and ZELLE. And then those of you that want to use VENMO to give your donation, you can do so. VENMO, our email address for VENMO is going to be issacharbey, issacharbey@gmail.com. And that's going to be issacharbey@gmail.com. And you can send it through Venmo. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to today's teaching. I hope that you got something out of it. I got something out of it because it's actually me preaching to the choir, me teaching myself, because when it came down to the divine timing, that's the one that I'm wrestling with, because I'm a very impatient person, but I understand the purpose, and I understand me building the habits of divine timing so that I can be able to remove myself from being impatient and allow myself to just relax and let divine timing take its flow. And so I want to thank all of you for tuning in. I want you to know that your destiny is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. And I also want to let you know that I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.